Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, our online talk show where we get to have conversations with diverse people and organizations who are impacting lives positively. Yes, this is me, Kemi Akiode Adebayo, aka Mama K. And in today's program, and to share a story today, I've got our vibrant, fun, jovial, who I could go on describing this young man, is a son to me, Sipho Luther Sgwentu. He's an entertainer, a comedian, a software consultant, an MC, a presenter, and a lot of other things that he's gotten himself into. But we'll find more about that. And he is based in Cape Town, South Africa. Sipho, how are you today?
Very well, and you, Mama K? Great to be here.
Very, very well. I miss your dreads, by the way.
Thank you. I know I'm working.
I remember those dreads.
They were so beautiful.
They were so beautiful. So why did you cut them?
I think when you're young, you don't shower as much. You're going rolling in dirt. They weren't looking the way I wanted, but I'm going back.
So that was really the reason. You don't shower as much.
I'm cleaning myself every day, so I thought I'd grow out my hair too.
Okay, so you're planning to grow.
Yeah, I actually think just a more Afro-y look.
Okay, because me knowing young Sipho that age was about the dreads.
It was about the dreads. Absolutely,
most of the time and all the time.
I just look so sleek and good. It's hard to maintain at that age.
Okay. So tell us, where were you born?
I was born in Stellenbosch Hospital. Actually, one of my first claims to fame was I was the first black child to be born at Mediclinic in Stellenbosch in '92 before the '94. So
really, I didn't know that one. Yeah. Okay.
And then grew up in Strand. Well, for my pre-teen years was Strand, Somerset West. Then moved to Cape Town, Claremont when I was about 11 years old.
Okay. Yeah. And your parents, let me go back to your parents. Where are they from? Are you Xhosa, Zulu?
Full.
I know you can speak Xhosa, so I won't even put you to shame.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Okay. My dad's from the Queenstown, born there. And my mom's from a small town in Eastern Cape called Dordrecht. It's like closer to the border of KZN, I would describe. It's a very small town. But yeah, both from the Eastern Cape, but they both moved here when they were about 7, 8. So essentially we're
Capetonian. So in your family, what position are you?
I'm the last born, only male.
Last born. Only male. Gosh, you're the first of a lot of stuff. How does that feel? Last born, only male. How many are you?
It's 3 of us, my 2 older sisters, and then me at the bottom. It feels good actually, because I got the male privilege in an African household, so I didn't have to do the dishes much.
Lucky you. When I was young. They were really nice to you.
Exactly. And I come home, I say I'm hungry, and the food gets magically prepared. So that's,
okay.
But it has its other responsibilities that it came with, but I think it was a sweet position to be in.
You know what? We'll be right back. The young man Sipho with dreads, born in Stellenbosch, the first, black child to be born in the Mediclinic.
Yeah, Mediclinic is
in there. And your parents are from, the Eastern Cape, although you claim to be Capetonian.
Yep.
Because, you are Capetonian anyway. If you can't speak any other language apart from Cape Town. And the last born, only boy of 3. So, tell us about your education and, life after that, just education. Because I know you didn't go to a normal, regular school.
Yeah. So I started out at the Loreto in Strand at a normal school. Then when I came to Cape Town, I went to Wynberg Boys for about 6 months. But then my mom was a part of I guess the best way to describe it is like a choir group at the time. And then she met the owner of the American International, not the owner, the principal at the time of the American International School. And ironically, actually, they needed a black South African at the school. They just had none when the school was starting out. So
the first again.
So my mom was like, I have a young black South African. So we went to go apply, and things went well. And then I went to the American International School, I think 2001 or 2002, something there, a long time ago. Or 2003, actually, that makes sense. And then from grade 6 to grade 12, did my whole schooling there. And then I went to Stellenbosch University for about 2 years. Unfortunately, I was commuting back and forth from Cape Town to Stellenbosch, and the pricing got too expensive.
What were you studying?
Politics, philosophy, and economy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I've always seen you, politics. And I know my husband always say, yeah, one day Sipho is going to become the president of South Africa. Okay. And then you went into entertainment. But anyway, we'll talk about that. Progress. So, okay.
And then immediately after that, like there was an opportunity with SAP, a business software company, that they had a training program at the CPUT in Cape Town. So I joined that. Like after dropping out of Stellenbosch, I think maybe 3 months after that, I joined the SAP training course, and then I got my certification in supply chain management and human capital management, and then I've been working in software consulting. I lived in Joburg for about 6 years or so, and then came back, like 3 years back.
So you lived in Joburg as
well? Pretoria, Joburg. I should say Pretoria.
Well, so how was life in Cape Town compared to Joburg, Pretoria? Because I know a lot of young people prefer life in Johannesburg,
it's,
than Cape Town. How is that for you as a young person?
I think, like in terms of like, I would say, especially for people of color, it's like more directed towards black people, not like alienating the rest, but just if you ever want to be in an environment where it's like, it has a more drive of people of color. Like when you're living in Cape Town, you know about it by reading it on TV or hearing it about, external, but you don't really get to practically see like people that look like you that are, very driven, moving in one direction. Right. And Joburg has that everywhere. They're very go-getters. So it's inspiring in that sense. But I think as a Cape Townian, it was too aggressive of a switchover. Like the environment is very, not hostile, but it's very, I guess sharp would be a word I would use to describe it, so they're very fast-paced, do this, do that, like.
So you ran back to Cape Town. I'm not over here.
I want to be late for my meetings, you know what I mean? Like, just want to breathe for a bit, gentlemen.
So now let's go a little bit back to culture in terms of your ULSA culture and the influence of the American, schooling you go, and being a Cape Townian, and even now, Joburg and Pretoria, the fast pace. How has that shaped you, as a person?
I think, I guess throughout my whole life, culturally speaking, I was always raised as a closer. You know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. If you have two closer parents, you'll be raised as a closer.
And what does that mean?
Like, we have the foods we eat, the way we understand tradition, the way we like communicate with your elders. There's no back. Mama K, you would know. You've known me all my life. There's a sense of reverence. Like higher, lower. It's a very African-centered raising. But then I'd always been, I guess, the only black kid in all my environments, even from young. Like when we went to a predominantly colored and white school, then I was the only black kid. Then we went to the American school, which was 99% white, and then I was the only black kid. So at times it gets lonely because it's like you're expressing a culture that no one around you fully understands. But then as I grew up now, reflecting on it, I'm quite proud of it because it's like being a Bantu person or a Bantu man. Our culture is it's ancient, you know what I mean? It's very deep-rooted and it's very connected to our land. It is who we are. And it's allowed me to, because of the anchor of my culture, it's allowed me to take on other societies a lot more. Like, I know where home is. I know where I'm come from. I know there's no confusion there's no disillusion where home is. And if you know where home is, you can kind of conquer the world a lot better. Right. So that's where, I can always find my way home. And I think that's always been my comfort and also allowed me to connect with a lot more people. Like, people from different, growing up at the American school, I would hang out with a lot of people that were third culture kid, so it'd be like a Korean kid or, an Indian kid. And even though I wasn't as well traveled as them or had seen the world like they did, there was a sense of endearment because I did know where home was and they could reflect that and we can communicate on home with each other no matter where we are in the world. So,
wow, interesting. So for you, I know you're still very, very young on the
30 on the mark.
30 on the mark, there, right, bang on.
Right, bang on.
Oh, okay. I've given you 5 more years and no more youth.
No more youth, yeah.
No more youth.
Let me enjoy it while I can.
Enjoy it while you can. So what are 3 things that you say you value most in life and why? For you?
For me. It's one, and I think the most important one for me, and it does sound cliche, but I think it's the pursuit of happiness.
Right.
I always underestimated that statement growing up because I think I equated happiness with success. Like success means happiness, all the things that success comes with, home, finances, things like that. And everything I pursued with the goal of success and not happiness. You know what I mean? And now as time goes on, I find that the more I'm actively pursuing things that makes me happy, it's allowed for other things to fall in place, which is, of course, what people try and teach you from when you're young, but it doesn't really absorb until you kind of get hit by life. You know what I mean? Like, you know what?
I like the way you describe that. Get hit by life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number two, I would say, and I guess this is for me and all young men, especially men of color, I would say, is reading, actually. I think where knowledge is power is a true statement no matter where you are in the globe, you know, and it's not only like knowledge in the form of what you do for a living, but knowledge in just to try and taste everyone's culture is the best way to do it is by reading about their culture, you know what I mean? Like, no video can ever teach you, there's no movie that can ever teach you about someone's culture, but if you read a book about someone from that town, even if it's 10 pages, 5 pages, you will expand the way you look at your own life, you know what I mean? And will increase your own experiences and I guess your own pursuits will have more color to it if you're also understanding other people's colors, you know? So I find that. And then
a third. I'm sure you have a third somewhere.
I'm sure I have a third somewhere, yeah. I guess it's don't be, like, I guess for me personally, I've heard no so many times in my life. So then why am I never use it. So when I'm pursuing my own dreams, like, I guess the fear of no, I'm not conquered by the fear of no. Because my whole life I heard no, like even now you hear no on a daily basis, you know, can I get a raise? No, you know, can I get more money? No, you know, can I use your car? No, like it's small no's, but you hear no every day. So if you're pursuing something that you're passionate about, that no should mean nothing, because all the things that you weren't passionate about, you received the no and you continued anyway. So if it's your passion, take the no, keep moving, because what's the worst that can happen? You've heard no so many times in your life, you know?
Wow, interesting. So how did you get into entertainment? Because I'm still trying to get my head around it. Now that I'm surprised, I'm not surprised. I've always seen you as jovial, fun, relaxed, and the joker, and always everything is you know, not in a bad way.
Yeah, just
so I'm not really surprised, but I just still felt, you know, you were going a different
politics
route. So the politics route, and it's about, you know, rights, social justice, you know, and things like that, because like you said, you've been the first on many things. And, you know, in the new world of South Africa. So how did you get into entertainment, and how's the journey been, you know, for you? And when did you get into it?
When. So when I started was, the why, let me start with the why. The why was actually, I studied politics because I do want to enter a political kind of frame, but I think, like, as I was especially joining Joburg, I realized that we have a lot of politicians in Africa, but not enough leaders. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like they're knowledge based and they can argue very well, but there's no actually pursuit of leading us out of something. You know? So, so I guess I do want to one day move where I am going into a state of public speaking, in the form of being able to truly express myself, where I'm not hindered by a political party or worried about what anyone's going to say, where I'm truly getting a forum to express myself in my entirety. So then backing track, when I started this actually, so when I moved back to Cape Town 3 years ago, I wanted to do public speaking again, just as a form, just to do something after work that I enjoy doing. So I joined Toastmasters. I'm not sure if you So
you joined Toastmasters?
Yeah, I joined Toastmasters in Ernest Young. So that was before I even thought of the comedy thing. I just wanted to get back to public speaking, you know, and I didn't want to just jump on a stage and embarrass myself. So I thought using a platform where other people are doing the same thing would be a great way to train the muscles. And then after a while, I heard that they have a comedy section within the Toastmasters. And I've always loved the true art form of comics, you know, like, because essentially it's just someone that gets on stage and gets to speak his mind, and everyone sits there and listens, you know. So I always loved that side of it. So while I was training the Toastmasters thing, I said, okay, let me just change my course and then do the comedy thing. And then I think I did it for about 6 months. Then I thought, okay, I think I'm ready now. Then I did my first event in town, a place called Burger Shop at the time. But then COVID hit, so everyone took a break.
No, that one, the COVID, in terms of the arts and entertainment world, and
it just rocked it. It just rocked it for a very long time.
So you know what? We'll be back. We need to stop, but I want to hear more about how that Toastmaster journey and everything else went about. So we'll be back. entertainment, public speaking. How has the journey been? I know COVID happened before we went on break.
Yeah.
We spoke about, COVID happened, so definitely it's had a knock-on effect. But thankfully, things are gradually, picking up. And I recently watched you host a comedy, and probably did you do? Probably missed that.
Just a small segment.
Or a small segment. Okay, over that. And I was very proud of you, seeing you there. And even though it was a small venue, but for me, I felt, that's an avenue to grow, and we need more of things like that with, the mostly young people, that were doing that. So how's that been for you? And what is your stage name? Is it just Sipho?
Sipho Luther. Yeah.
Okay, just Sipho
I love
Luther.
my name.
Okay. So Sipho Luther.
Yeah, both names. Yeah.
Okay, both names. So how's the journey been for you? And what future do you see for yourself in entertainment, presenting, emceeing? What are your goals?
I guess the comedy scene right now, what I have found, it's like there's a lot of hungry entertainers, but not a lot of venues to do this, So the one that we went to, I hosted at Wanderlust, that one is actually, I produced it myself.
Right.
So I realized that the most effective way that I'm going to be able to get time behind the mic is to actively, aggressively go find locations. So on the weekends, on the weekdays I'm 9 to 5 working, in the evening I do the comedy thing. Then on the weekends I'll actually just drive around and go to different bars and just check if they're entertaining or not, if they're willing to do it. And it's been it's been great so far, honestly. The environment of it's like a bunch of young hungry people that really, you know what I mean, and they can, if they see the hunger in your eyes, they'll assist you and try and get you in the right places, but they're also trying to get it for themselves. So it creates a disillusion, there's an illusion that we are kind of competing when we're not, because there is actually, but it's because there's so few spots that everyone's trying to get into that it's, so I thought, okay, let me take a step back and use my work experience, and my work experience has told me if you want something, you just go ask the boss, so let me walk into different venues around, and it's been working out very well, actually. I'm going to produce another one on Wednesday and another one on Friday, so I'm just generating my own spots.
Awesome. So each month you're looking into finding those venues that could accommodate the hungry. When you say it, as in, because we do have a lot of, talented, people.
Outstanding talent.
Outstanding. I saw a little bit of that on that day. And we all need that laughter. We all need, to relax, especially with so much, that is happening, in our world today. So I know you're still very young, but I know you've got a head on wisdom, and you've got parents who had given you those foundation, and siblings as well, who probably are drumming it into your last born, but you need to do this, or you need. So for you, what are some of the lessons, key lessons you've learned in life? That has helped you, or that you will do differently, from a younger age, when you're trying to make up your mind on which career path, to follow, and not dropping out of school or whatever the case is. What are some of the key life lessons that you'll advise somebody that wants to go into entertainment, a young person, or any industry, by the way?
I think getting to the young old age of 30.
Young old age of 30, no, don't worry. When you're closer to 50 or 60, then you even know that, no, this is still young.
I think it's for anyone out there that wants to really drive this, or whatever it is that they want to push, I think one thing we get comfortable in whatever position we're in, you know what I mean? There's as much as and I don't think there's no shame in that. It's not like oh no, I'm not pursuing my dream, so I'm not successful or anything like that. It's more like a lot of us, especially people of color in South Africa, we don't have the environment in which we can find ourselves for longer periods of time, you know what I mean? Because when you're done with school, you have to feed the mouths around you, you have to get actively involved. We don't have the finding ourselves time, it's just the reality of our scenario.
The black tax.
The black tax, exactly. And it goes both ways.
I'm not going to explain that today. That's for another program.
We'll get another one. But the black tax, and because things are getting heavier around us, it kind of slightly is increasing its tax just slightly. So my advice would be, I think, whatever it is that you have to do, do it. And then whatever it is that you wanted to do, pursue it on your side time. And even if you fail, it doesn't really matter because it's what you want to do. Like, because if you really want to do it and you get a no, or it doesn't work out the first time, if it's truly what you wanted to do, just do it again, because you still, where the 9 to 5 has kind of hindered progression, it also has given you a safety net, because you know the next day you still have to, you got the work, you got the job. So if it is anything it may be, if it's an artistic passion, if it's even another work type thing, while you're still young, just do it. Just like after work, even if it's just like what I normally do is when I get home from work, I will write, every day I write a joke. And then I'll watch something comedy related for an hour. Okay. Then I can go back to doing anything else, because it's just, I'm telling myself, I'm feeding into my passion. 1 hour a day in a full year, that's 365 like hours that you've spent on your passion. By the next year, you'll think of it differently. You'll start being able to practicalize your passion. You know what I mean? So I think whatever it is, and accept and be proud of the fact that you got to wherever you are now. You're a young person of color, that you've been living in this environment all your life. Wherever you are now, be very proud of that fact that you got there and you're surviving. And if you have another passion that you're pursuing, pursue it like you would a baby step process. Read up about it. See anyone else around you that you think that's like it. And don't be afraid of failure, because the worst kind of failure I found is having not started this 10 years back when I had been thinking about it for these last 10 years. That has been the worst failure for me. So just starting it is the greatest success, no matter where you are, what age you are, and be proud of where you've been to get. If you're old enough to sit and think that I am now ready to pursue a passion, be proud of that and pursue it.
Yeah, wise words. Wise words. I'm going to go more into things like that just now, because I know each year in South Africa, we celebrate the 16th of June, which is the Youth Day, about the Soweto uprising, where young people were fighting and made sacrifices, for justice and freedom and education. And, each year we celebrate, this day. And as a young person, for you, what is Youth Day or Youth Month, or those sacrifices, that were made in 1976, what does that mean, to you personally? And what changes would you like to see for young people in South Africa?
I think, for me, actually, Youth Day or Youth Month, to me, it's more of an inspiration to the entire Africa, because the whole of Africa, the beauty of Africa is we are a young continent in every sense of the word. You know what I mean? Yes, we are an ancient continent, but then we have our murky history. And now with what the current structure is, we're young. We're very young, vibrant people walking across our land. And I think the youth, like us as Africans, what we need to learn is, especially during this youth time, is to maybe block off the noise of what's happening externally. You know what I mean? We're quick to, we have posts about what's happening in America's black youth, but I've never hear about a South African posting about what's happening in Kenya. And that's the most concerning factor to me. You know what I mean? Like, let's not worry about, as youth, let's push, and it's not saying that America's problems isn't bad, but we should also accept that America's problems is their problems. Yes, they are related to us in our melanin, combination, but Africa's got its own thing, and its own thing is its youth. Like, there's no other continent has this gift. We have an entire, from Cape to Cairo, we have young people everywhere. Hungry, passionate, intelligent. They're exposed to internet like no other generation before them is. So I think for our June 16th month should be, and what was the Soweto uprising, which relates to that. These youth were inspired by other Africans, because they weren't hearing news from America. They weren't hearing news from, they were hearing news from other Africans talking about freedom. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So that was the unification of that thought. So we should evoke that again. Like, it's not June 16th where it's a youth, we're going to express and show the world what we think about it. We're going to show each other where we've come. You know what I mean? Like, we're resilient, we're great. Our parents, unlike any other continent, well, not like any other continent, but unlike a lot of continents, every single one of us have parents that have experienced the most intense type of hatred, racism, attacks. Every single one of us. There's no black child in Africa that's parent hasn't experienced that. So we are second generation brilliant. Because if they like there's this quote that I want to leave with, state, it's our ancestors have already earned our crown. All we have to do is wear it. And then that's what we should remember for June 16th.
Okay. You need to say that again. Our ancestors
Our ancestors already earned our crown.
Okay.
All we have to do is wear it.
Okay. On that note, we'll be right back.
And let's get it going.
Wow. Me and you, we can definitely talk. And I always think, yeah, we need more time for these conversations and hearing stories, you know, from people like yourselves who are passionate, who are doing things, even though in the background, but, you know, walking your way, you know, up there. You touched there, you know, before the break about racism. You know, that, yeah, you know, for most black kids in South Africa, they have parents or grandparents who have experienced, you know, that. What more do you think, personally? I don't want to focus on the problem. My bit is always about, okay, solutions.
Yeah.
What more do you think can be done in South Africa to challenge or reduce racism, intolerance, and xenophobia, and inequality and intolerance? You know, what more do you think can be done? Because we're all saying, you said earlier on about, you know, leaders and politicians being more politicians than being leaders. So if you are in the powers, you know, that be, and you have the means, you know, to do something, what more do you think we can do so that your children and your grandchildren are still not talking about what we're talking about now?
That's true,
in 20 years' time?
That's a very... I think it's like what I have seen with my own eyes, like Cape Town is a great example of our history of South Africa. And as much as we're the last 20 something years, 26 years or so, we have been integrated in the sense of we walk amongst each other. Yes. But we're not thoroughly integrating in the sense of like I'm going to use Cape Town. I grew up here all my life, so my best way to example. But like, if I go to Cape Town, I know that there are certain bars I can go to depending on if I want to be around my own people, like, or if I am okay with being around just white people, or just, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's it's proof that we know about each other, as in like we know about the struggle, we know about your past, but we don't actually understand each other. Nor do we don't feel the need to actually cross over that boundary. Like, it's, as I'm sure even your own kids can tell you, it gets kind of daunting being someone that is able to integrate with everyone, but everyone is not able to like communicate amongst to each other. Like,
Yeah.
And I think if we, as simple as this is, if you're a white man that doesn't have a black friend, then you are probably part of the problem. If you're a black guy that feels like you can't have a white friend, then you're also a part of the problem. And you know, it means like it goes both ways. It's like, because it's like, everyone wants to freely talk, and we feel like if you're hanging out with someone from a different culture, you won't be able to freely talk because they may take it away and that may take it a different way, which is sad, because to move from before 94 to here, our forefathers had uncomfortable conversations with everyone, and that's how they integrated. They had deeply uncomfortable conversations with white lawyers and politicians, and they would be doing this every single day, but that's what allowed these people to integrate. So if we feeling like we can't say this and we can't say that, which is true, there are things that we should avoid, but you will get that understanding why you should avoid certain topics if you are integrating and communicating. Without that, And I do mean it's as simple as just having a black friend if you're a white guy. And as a black guy, not being afraid to just go right up to that white guy and talk to him. And like, I mean, I'm always going to promote black strength because I am a black man. But I think as a black man, you forget your accent is not a hindrance. This is your land, you are home. Let this be your strength. No, nothing here should shake you. This is home. Period. Like nothing should shake you. So go introduce yourself to anyone you want to talk to. If you feel like you're not sounding the same way they are, that's their problem, not yours. You are communicating on your land. No one tells you how to change the way you talk when you're home. So don't worry about that. Just communicate with them. Okay. With time, you will be able to fully talk. You know, like you've traveled the world many times and you've seen people that don't actually speak or speaking. Like, you know, they don't speak the same language, but they're talking, you know. So it's very doable, you know. But you just got to get out of your own fear.
And I like how you've, such a simple thing, what you're saying could help, you know, but it's simple, but are we seeing it? Are we doing it?
Yeah.
Are we, so, okay. Whew, I still have a lot of questions I would have really, really loved to ask you. But
I'd love to come back again, please.
I know, I think that's what we always say. We always say we need to have the part 2 and part 3, you know, and so on. So I definitely thank you for wanting to, agreeing already in advance to come back.
Absolutely.
But before we go, you know, my final question, you know, will be, because I need to ask this, even though, part of what we've spoken about is that, but I know there might be other social issues, you know, for you personally that you're passionate about or that you feel more needs to be done about, apart from, you know, racism, discrimination, and so on. So what for you are some of the social issues in South Africa or Africa, you know, as a continent? You know, what are the solutions again? I'm about solutions. I told you that. So, yeah.
I think... And it's gonna sound, it's big, but it's small. But I think for the whole of the African continent, we amongst ourselves in our own books need to remove the word colonized. Just remove it.
Okay.
Because it gives the disillusion that someone came here to teach us something, but they did not. They stripped us of something. And if we can start thinking of ourselves as a nation of people that was stripped of something great, we will then pursue greatness. But if we keep looking at our history as though someone came here to teach us something, we're going to be in that same state of student-teacher. So if we not even like, and I know it's a grand thing, but it is very simple because what happened to us was not a colonization. Colonization has the illusion that they came, met people, that they somehow brought them out of the darkness into the light, but we were shining bright when they showed up, you know. So I think it's it's these small words that are throwing us back. Like it's like we always want to change these bigger pictures, which is great, but it's the smaller things that are kind of like, and I see this happen with a lot of young brothers from all over Africa, when it's like they will be the most brilliant person in the room, but they're just afraid to say anything, and they won't fear. It's just the way that they say the word, you know what I mean? It will throw them off completely. Right. And then it's because of these, like, I don't think it has to do with the word colonization in its core, but I think it has to do with you will always look at this foreigner with a sense of reverence, and when you speak to them, you're like, if you feel like you're going to sound dumb, you'd rather not say anything and give them complete power, you know what I mean? Like,
so is that not a case of confidence now that needs to be built?
Yes, this is true, but if you're going to teach confidence as a continent, we should let them know that you were great before they showed up. So let's remove this word that said that they were here to teach us anything. They were not, as we can see. like let's look at the results 300 years later. They clearly weren't here to teach us anything. So let's remove that word and understanding that way, and then teach our youth that we were once great and we were attacked. And then now we got to go pursue that greatness again. And if you know, especially when you're on the continent of Africa, I don't think there's no European that's shy to talk to anyone when anyone is visiting Europe, you know? They're kicking us out if you look at right now, what's the issue they're having with foreigners showing up on the border, immigration issue they're having, they're confidently saying and kicking them out, you know what I mean? They're speaking as confident European men. So us as Africans, when we are, and I don't mean against other Africans, that's where we're so conquered that we are attacking other Africans as opposed to being confrontational to what the original problem is. And it's because we don't feel comfortable at home. We feel like they're here to improve our home. That's madness, you know what I mean? Like, we are here, like, you know, and I don't say it's just that word, but it's that what that word comes with. It comes with a teacher coming across the oceans, you know what I mean? Like, So
Yeah.
don't want that. Like get rid of that illusion.
Okay.
You are home, you're strong, you're brilliant. Now use that energy and then go back out there and conquer it, you know?
I know. I think one of the phrase counter. Oh, I'm trying to remember Professor Ali Mazuri, late Professor Ali Mazuri, which he used that yes, the Europeans came to Africa to conquer, and now it's like we should counter that by going that way, to conquer, and it is feasible. But with the way the world is going as well. There's so much, we all can do for each other, even as world citizens, more than anything else. And there's value in what you have, what I don't have, than all this fighting and intolerance and injustice. But yeah, deep down, the struggle is real. There's poverty, there's lack, there's struggle, for same amenities, and there's not enough jobs to go around. But however, I still believe that there are ways and ways and ways.
For sure.
So, my dear Sipho Luther Sgwentu, it's been a pleasure hearing your story,
amazing.
and thank you, making people laugh and emceeing and doing what you're doing, and in your little way, I'm always about grassroots, what is happening, out there where people don't pay attention to. So I celebrate you.
Thank you.
I honor you, and I'm putting more pressure on you now that there's more you need to do. There's more that I'm looking out for.
Absolutely.
So this is not just about what you've accomplished now, it's more of what.
Don't worry. This is day one. You're only seeing the beginning growth.
Well, exactly. What we're looking forward to for you to do more of. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
So do you have Instagram?
Yeah,
how do
Sipho
people
Luther, find me on Instagram.
We'll share that.
Facebook,
anyway.
we'll share, add that. I'm trying to build LinkedIn, but
I heard LinkedIn is good, but then it's becoming as well like Facebook.
Exactly.
You young people keep condemning all the things we older people like. It's like Facebook. Nobody does that. It's LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok.
And TikTok,
whatever.
I downloaded TikTok recently.
Did you?
I've never shot anything before, but I'm learning.
So now we will share all your details, definitely,
Please do.
at the end, and we look forward, and I personally look forward to being there to cheer you, whatever it takes. So keep doing, keep promoting,
Thank you so much, Mama K.
Pursuing the happiness, what you're talking about, not being afraid to fail, and just picking yourself,
Keep moving
over,
forward.
again. And you need to mentor young people, even though you're 30 old. How did you call it?
30 young old.
30 young old. I'm going to be, and I want this on record, I'm going to be on your case, how we can start mentoring the boy child in the township, from Khayelitsha to Delft, and other places.
I would love that.
How can we, support them? Because I believe there's more that needs to be done to the boy child now that would help us fight things like gender-based violence.
Correct.
Because, we, focus not too much, but I think we're forgetting the boy child, and the girl child will eventually marry the boy child later on. So we need to pay attention, and I need the help of...
And confident men don't beat their women. That's just
exactly. And that's part of what we're talking about, the confidence, the self-love, and how do we get, around that. So I'm just saying, you're in trouble.
I can't wait.
It's a red card. It's a red card.
I can't wait.
So in closing,
Yes,
I will really, really love you to just, I know you've shared a lot of words of wisdom already, but to speak directly to young people, artists, entertainers, or anybody, out there that doesn't even know what, they want to do in life, or whoever you want to speak to, maybe people like yourself, I don't know, who are just starting up, and I don't know, whoever you want to speak to, I want you to just give them some words of encouragement directly there.
Okay. I know I'm young, just like the rest of us, but I think one thing I must say, wherever you are in life, just be very proud of where you've come. Like, we seem to think that because, I think it was Churchill that said that comparison is the root of all evil, or something like that. But what we tend to do is, especially with social media around you, checking this one on Instagram, this one looks successful, this one looks like they're traveling well, this one looks like they're, and it feeds you, like as much as you just think it's you going through your social feeds, but it is affecting you. And I want to just let you know that be proud of where you are now. Even if it's not the most, if someone around your age isn't as successful as you, if you didn't make the top 30 richest people or whatever the case may be, it's fine. Be very proud of where you are now. And if you genuinely want to pursue something, pursue it. And if you're going to fail, who cares? Like if you have gotten to this point in life, you do know that you've received 1 million failures. There must have been a time when you were in grade 11 and you failed a math test and you thought your life was over, and you're looking back on it now and you're laughing at the fact that you even thought that way. And that's what life will do for you in any other pursuit. If you are passionately pursuing anything, you can't really fail because it's your passion. You know, you can't. No one's ever said that they failed at their passions, but you do fail when you don't move, and that's my only advice to you. Like Michael Jordan said, you miss every shot you didn't take, and as simple as that is, it's absolutely true. If you look back 5 years from now, you'll only consider the failure the fact that you didn't start 5 years from now. That's it. You won't look at any other failure, even if it's, oh, I applied this way and didn't get it first time, applied that, didn't get it this time. That one you'll never look at as a failure. You'll only look at the fact that you didn't start as a failure. So be proud of yourself and just start. Whatever it is, just start.
Wow. Deep stuff. Old man, young, old, 30, man. Sipho Luther Sgwentu, I celebrate you. Wow. Pursue your passion. You fail when you don't move. Just start. Just do it. Be proud of where you are now. Don't allow social media, to affect you negatively. Influence. Pursue. And you were just quoting all those powerful people. I can't wait to quote you as well.
One day, give me time. 5 years from now.
5 years from now, we'll start quoting you. Well, thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Mama K. Thank you so much. And
wow.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we thank you all. Well, we're signing off. And this is Mama K with Sipho Luther. Look out for him, watch out for him, support him. And we will be sharing his details, at the end. He's a comedian, he's looking for more work, paid work, by the way. As an MC, although for me it's going to be free because it's my son.
Yep.
I know I do that a lot. So, yeah, but he's looking for paid work at an MC. You heard him. He's been through Toastmasters. He's a competent person. He can present. He can host. He's a powerful MC. I've seen him do it even at a very, very young age. So, and now him pursuing his happiness and his passion of entertaining other people. I just celebrate him. So, thank you for allowing us, and I hope you've been inspired one way or the other, and you've been driven by some of what we've spoken about. And we will be visiting some of the topics again, and we will have our dear Sipho back again to share more words of wisdom and, some of the sensitive topic, which, yes, like you said, we need to have those conversations. Even though, we don't feel comfortable with them, but we need to have them. So thank you for your time. And till next time, remember, stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed. Remember, God is love. And this is Mama K with Sipho. Peace out.